problems in recent years, and let's take a look at the starting five now for Neil McCarthy and the Aggies. From Las Cruces, down to the baseline, Traylor and Reed. Reed gets his first start in the last 10 games. He was out of the lineup with an ankle injury, but now has earned his way back into the starting lineup. Dockery, the man in the middle, and then Mario, the two that we were talking about out front, Crawford, and also Mark Thompson, the backcourt tandem for McCarthy.
You know, Mark Thompson is an underrated guard as well, and he can handle the ball very well in case there's a chance that UNLV may pressure and keep the ball out of Sam Crawford's hand. And Neil McCarthy, what a job he has done in New Mexico State. He's averaged 20 wins a season at New Mexico State.
Now the starting five, and a surprise. You do not see the name of J.R. Ryder. We have just received word, and this happened just about 5 to 10 minutes ago. He's not going to start, but he's expected to be in the first 4 to 5 minutes of the game. Obviously, some sort of disciplinary reasons for head coach Rolly Massimino. So Gray is going to be down to the baseline. You saw Gibson getting that start, and a very small lineup as well for Rolly Massimino in his first year at UNLV. Everybody thought it was going to be a regroup year, that the running Rebels were finally going to take their lumps this year, but they are not taking their lumps by any means.
No, they're definitely not. And credit Massimino and his staff, because they realized the situation, the athletes that he had here, the ability to run the basketball. All the critics said that they wouldn't run, they would slow it up. Hey, they're 7th in the nation in total points, averaging 89 points a game. They've gotten into the offense. They're running the break, and when they have to run half-court offense, they're doing a great job of it.
And besides their position in the standings, the two teams do have a couple of things in common. Losses on the road at both Long Beach State and Pacific, and it's always tough to go into Pacific. And Long Beach State, not exactly a huge arena, that little gym for Seth Greenberg's team, and they enjoy that home court advantage.
Both places, tough places to play, maybe two of the toughest in the conference. The key here, though, Long Beach State, an athletic team, and Pacific, more of a slow-down pattern team. So both New Mexico State and UNLV have struggled against athletes and slower teams.
Sam Crawford, his wife Dee Dee courtside. His wife is from Las Vegas, so his wife is here, and you know he's got real pressure on him because his mother-in-law is also here in the building this evening. One of the more likable characters in the game, Sam Crawford of New Mexico State. And there's his counterpart. Now, it's going to be interesting. What a battle between two point guards. Who is going to wear down the quickest? Who is going to be a bit winded, as they say, looking for that extra bit of oxygen early in the contest, because they will race up and down the floor. We talked about the domination by UNLV. The only win in the history of the meetings between the two teams came a couple of years ago down in Las Cruces. That victory for the Aggies of New Mexico State. Now, UNLV has won 9 straight times, and those 9 straight by an average of 19 points. Can New Mexico State finally get that monkey off their back? It's not just a monkey, it's more like a gorilla. J.R. Ryder, leading scorer, one of the top 5 of the nation in scoring as well, with a 29-point average, will start the contest on the bench. J.R. Ryder, 3rd in the nation in scoring, as Thompson has the tip, and New Mexico State has it to start the contest.
Right off the top, UNLV starts in a zone, so we'll see how New Mexico State attacks the zone.
Well, bombing away from 3, and Crawford has a follow. That's not there as well, as Mark Thompson couldn't put it in. You know what UNLV wants to do, though? Running Rebels with the first 2, and Boney's got it.
There's the most improved player on the UNLV team right now. Dexter Boney has had some great games down the stretch. A little pressure shown by UNLV. They'll press a lot. Usually Ryder's at the top, but now with Ryder out in the first 5 minutes, they'll pull it back.
Good look inside. Traylor with the fall away. He loves to post up, loves to get it down low, but recently he's been in a shooting slump. A good sign for New Mexico State as they tie it up at 2.
Great sign. In fact, as you said, Joel, he did not even score at Pacific last week. That's the first time in Traylor's career. It was critical for Traylor to come out and start it off early in a big game.
Manuel bombs from 3, and it's a 3-point lead. That's Reggie Manuel, a sophomore from Macon, Georgia. His older brother Eric led his college ball for Eddie Sutton at Kentucky. Well, the matchup zone, as we expected when we talked with Rolly Massimino with the shoot-around for UNLV today, said we've got a good 6 or 7. You'll see a lot of different defenses from us.
That's his trademark. He switches up defenses. He'll go zone, man. I've seen him go start in a man and go to the zone after a first pass. He'll give you a lot of different looks.
Well, right now they want Thompson to take the shot. He's going up with it. So that's playing into UNLV's hands. as they get it inside for Manuel. He's got 5 in the early going into the Running Rebels. Open it up to a 5-point lead, almost 2 minutes into the contest.
And right now, New Mexico State is much too quick with the shot on the offensive side. I mean, they like to push the basketball, but in their offense, what they call their basic, in this case, they're now in their zone offense. They've got to be patient, work the ball, at least 4 or 5 passes around, look for the gap in the seam in the zone, and look baseline if they can, generally for Cliff Reed. There he is, baseline.
Under 20 left on the shot clock. Sam Crawford with the penetration. Reed wasn't ready.
Go home, Reed! Go home!
A rarity between these two teams to go under 10 on the shot clock. And a charging foul. The foul on Reed. Manuel clogged up that left side of the paint.
Manuel's a great defender. He's drawn a lot of the opposition's top scorers so far this season. Did a great job holding his ground against a big, strong man in Cliff Reed.
Everett Gray got around his man. Good position inside. Manuel's got it. He'll go to the line looking for the three-point play. Give the credit to Gray on the great penetration.
Excellent play by Gray that time. That shows you the versatility he has, looking for Manuel inside. Gray in a trailer can dish it off inside. In fact, he's third on the team in steals, so he can do it all. Pass, block shots, very creative. And the key right now, Joel, it's interesting to see how New Mexico State, who plays that matchup zone, has not been able to get back quick enough, get set in that matchup to prevent UNLV from penetrating so quickly.
8 points already for Reggie Emanuel. He only averages 9 a game, so there's only a point off his season average. 8-point lead. A nightmare beginning for Neil McCarthy and the Aggies of New Mexico State. They get the high position inside, and Dockery is fouled. It'll be on Everett Gray, and that'll be his first.
This is exactly what New Mexico State needs to do. Try to get the UNLV team into foul trouble. Everett Gray fouled out of the game with Louisville last Sunday, and Neil McCarthy talked about this. We've got to be able to get the front line of UNLV into foul trouble, get into UNLV's limited bench, and get to the free throw line. This is what New Mexico State does so very well.
James Dockery hitting only 58% at the stripe, misses the first of 2. And already, they're ready to make a move. Tracy Ware, so explosive off the bench for this team. And 2 straight misses for Dockery. So it remains an 8-point lead for the Running Rebels, just about 3 minutes into the contest. Gibson, the three-point specialist, not close. Break opportunity for Crawford. Good. The trailer couldn't finish. Thompson with a beautiful look inside. A jump ball situation. And the alternating possession arrow belongs to UNLV, but good ball movement has to encourage Neil McCarthy on the break.
And that's what's frustrating for New Mexico State. If they've got the opportunity to run, they love to push it. I mean, they'll run with anybody, but you got to finish inside, and Traylor just came up short.
Tracy Ware, the young man you're looking at right now, just coming into the contest, the senior from Houston. Transfer from Lee Junior College. He brings in a 13-point average. Gray. Head of the key, Everett Gray. It's getting away from New Mexico State. Just 3.5 minutes into the game.
So this is the fear New Mexico State had, in that UNLV would come out, blitz them early, and force New Mexico State to some quick shots.
Crawford with a good penetration. Thompson finally finishes one. His first basket after 4 attempts. 9-point UNLV lead. Somebody one time. Sam Crawford picks up the charge. D-Don Thomas thought he had the paint. Sam Crawford closed it up in a hurry.
Well, Sam kind of led D-Don to making that move. He backed off at the last minute and encouraged D-Don to penetrate inside, held his ground. Good defensive play that time by Sam Crawford.
An 11-2 run right now for the Running Rebels. 16:05 left of the first 20 minutes of play.
Extended pressure right now by UNLV. Look for the trap. Great pass by Crawford.
To Everett Gray as Traylor tried to get it in. The break now for Boney. 15-4 UNLV once again enjoying their largest lead at 11.
Defense creates your offensive opportunities. Gray makes a great block. He's the first man down the floor in the break, and Boney finishes it. Boney has truly improved his outside perimeter shooting.
They're packing the zone in. Can't get the layup. Traylor. And a foul underneath. It'll be a shove on Boney as Traylor was going after, or make that Tracy Ware going after the rebound.
Well, a good sign that time by New Mexico State, Joel, that they had 3 players on the offensive boards, had 2 opportunities off the glass, just couldn't get them to go down.
Timeout on the floor, and an opportune timeout for Neil McCarthy and the Aggies of New Mexico State as they trail early by 11.
Hi, Ted Chapman here with another Chapman Dodge Advantage, Dodge Dakota, America's only true midsize pickup, with V8 power available in both regular and extended cab. Prices start at just $89.95, and with nearly 100 in stock, price and selection have never been better. And how about the 93 Dodge Shadow, voted one of the best in its class, foreign or domestic. We've made the Shadow more affordable now than ever before, starting at just $139 per month. Come see us today, Chapman Dodge, Nevada's #1 Dodge dealer, Boulder Highway, just south of Sahara.
Attention telemarketers, looking for Gary Pirro? He's back, and he needs experienced fronters and no sailors. Stop giving reloaders your hard-earned money. Get all your own reloads back. Earn top dollar. Call 871-1881.
At EasyCom, $21, and you own this Motorola Bravo display beeper. That and $21. And just $10 a month for airtime. Includes a free post office box. Just call 894-EASY. EasyCom.
Mexico State so far sizzling from the floor, and let's also take into consideration as you look at those incredible numbers to begin the game, the running Rebels are doing this without the 3rd leading scorer in the nation. You're looking at right now J.R. Ryder, who just came into the contest.
He finally comes in with nearly 5 minutes gone in the game, and they're playing so well without him. That may have been a bigger shock to New Mexico State from the start, not seeing Ryder in there and then seeing Everett Gray way out on the top. And New Mexico State playing a little bit of man-to-man defense early on instead of their traditional matchup.
That is the only change so far.
That's what Traylor's.
Tracy Ware will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. He is their leading scorer. He's hitting 70% of his shots from the line so far this year. With 7 rebounds a game, and that already turns out to be a good foul by Manuel as he makes him earn at the free throw line, and he's missed the first of 2.
Encouraging to see how Ware's come back from a very, very bad knee injury. Same kind of knee injury that Danny Manning, Ron Harper, the Clippers suffered. He's come back strong.
Right now, UNLV coming out strong to start the game.
Now New Mexico State into that matchup zone.
Ryder finding Thomas, the fingertip roll. Unselfish play, the double team over on Ryder. That left him open in the middle.
That's an example of Ryder's unselfishness, as he said. A lot of people forget about that. He talk about all the big numbers he had. Hey, he's a team-oriented player.
Corey Rogers off that last whistle in for the first time this evening.
Right now, New Mexico State is very stagnant on that zone. Not moving, nobody's cutting to the basket. There, dribble penetration will help create.
Jackson for 3, and he's got it, finally. They can't hit the 5-footer, but they get the 3-pointer, but they throw it. He's got it. You talked about him, Dexter Boney. Timeout, New Mexico State. Neil McCarthy really upset that his team did not get back in the transition game. They continue to celebrate at the Thomas & Mack. We'll be right back with 13:35 left in the first half as the Rebels continue to dominate.
Want to solve a mystery? You could call him. Want your car fixed? You could call him. Want to sell your home? You should call Tim. His Prudential team are the home selling pros. Want to make a movie? You could call him. Want to buy a home? You should call Tim. Tim McKenna has the team of real estate pros from the Prudential Southwest Realty. Buying or selling, you should call Tim. 434-HOME.
Las Vegas Chrysler Plymouth is overstocked with 275 brand new 1993s of every model Chrysler makes, including minivans, Fifth Avenues, New Yorkers, and more. So we're marking our windshields with one price, no negotiation, hassle-free buying price reductions. Everyone pays the same price, everyone saves big. Finance at 5.9% for 48 months. Massive savings now, only at Las Vegas Chrysler Plymouth. We're on Decatur. We want only to be the best.
It's ticking away.
Your chance to save like never before. Fletcher Jones Chevrolet Geo's
72-hour Count the Savings sale.
Financing as low as 2.9%. Save on factory rebates, option savings packages, plus Fletcher Jones leadership discounts for savings up to $4,500. S10 pickups only $76.95. Full-size truck $10,995. S10 Blazers $13,995.
Count your savings now.
At the 72-hour sale only at
Fletcher Jones Chevrolet Geo, Decatur and Alta.
It ends Monday nights.
Mexico State loves to go to the glass. This time, little Sam Crawford got caught inside after kicking it out, and the defensive transition we talked about was so critical for New Mexico State to get back. They failed to do it that time. UNLV just exploits every opportunity they can when they push the ball up court in transition.
Sam Crawford, outstanding penetration. It'll count. It was in. Ryder pushed it back out along with Everett Gray. 21-10 now, an 11-point lead for the running Rebels. And the backcourt scoring the biggest difference. Now it's 17-4 as Crawford got that bucket. Gray forced it. It didn't work. And here comes Crawford once again. The backcourt of New Mexico State has to pick up the offensive slack out of the range of Jackson.
Yeah, see, Jackson looks to take those, but that was an ill-advised shot. A little out of control. They're going to get Ryder and wave off the basket, unfortunately. That was a great hang time play by J.R. Ryder. They're going to wave it off, call him for a charge. Outlet pass from Gray, keeps his position, tries not to draw the charge, but little Sam Crawford, watch Crawford get his feet set. Just enough, and a good acting job as Ryder's struggling to get his hands on it. What a great play by both players.
With the emphasis on just enough. Sam Crawford looking for the ball to make the move instead of trailing. Jackson, again, he's well short. Boney almost had it taken away.
Much too quick. New Mexico State trying to force the shot from the perimeter.
Ryder. Great form of the jumper, but a little bit long.
Well, the Aggies are really out of sync in this first half.
When you look at their percentages from the floor, though, they're fortunate to be trailing by only 11.
Good point.
The good push inside. Dockery can finally finish. He's got it.
And that's what they've got to do. They've got to get the ball inside, attack in the inside. Then the perimeter game goes. If you can get the inside game going, then it goes inside, outside.
You've been following Ryder all season long on the Big West path, the Big West Trail. Is he an automatic lottery pick, Mario, as far as you're concerned?
Definitely, no doubt about it. This guy has got pro written all over him. The various scouts I talked to, in fact, Jerry West of the Lakers is here tonight. I've been told that Jerry West really likes J.R. Ryder, especially how hard he plays.
Dexter Boney, the story so far, along with Reggie Manuel. 9 now for Boney. And it's back to an even dozen, because in that 12-point lead for UNLV.
We mentioned Boney again, but I can't harp on it enough. He was struggling so much so from the perimeter game. His ability to hit the outside shot and UNLV's ability to hit perimeter has made their inside game, despite the lack of size, all that more.
Trailer rejected by Gray. Here comes Edon Thomas. They've got a 4-on-3. Why not a 3? Yes! Manuel continues his hot ways.
Manuel's showing you why he's the little general. Really runs the break under control and goes to the free throw line, which is where you make your decisions on the basketball floor as a point guard.
Multiple substitutions ready to come in for both teams.
He's still in that zone, Joel. Really making it difficult for New Mexico State.
Crawford hooked on the arm by Everett Gray. Now, Mario, these are two thin teams. They don't rotate all that many players. And Gibson is coming in. Now, he started the game for J.R. Ryder. He was gone about 4 minutes into the contest. He's the great three-point shooter for UNLV, but obviously both coaches feeling comfortable enough in the early going. I don't know if you could use the word comfortable around Neil McCarthy right now, but going deep enough in their bench.
You're right. McCarthy's got to get different players involved, try to create something on the offensive side. Look at, he's trying to get this team going. The intensity they need to have. What a great job Neil McCarthy in New Mexico State. He's given this team national prominence. They went to the Sweet 16 last year. They're hoping to do it again this year.
Posting up. And that's a mismatch inside for J.R. Ryder, who went for the steal. That's the first two for J.R. Crawford had it taken away on the entry pass. And in front of us, it's last touch by Dexter Boney. Great hustle courtside by both Boney and Cliff Reed, who just came in.
Well, big Cliff Reed got the start tonight. He's from Las Vegas, from Rancho High School here. And the thing we've noticed I have so far is that Reed's struggling a little bit on the passes from Crawford. He hasn't started in 10 games, and it takes a little while under game conditions to get back and get used to Sam Crawford, who makes tremendous passes.
Crawford sits down. Thompson comes in, so it's a backcourt of Corey Rogers and Mark Thompson. Thompson, the senior from Philadelphia, and Rogers, the junior from Ontario, California.
The Rebels now for UNLV going into a man-to-man. In their offense, New Mexico State with Crawford out now. Because it's a problem. That's the man who has to have the ball, Thompson.
Dockery got away from Ryder long enough to get it off. And Dockery, with his second basket, has a total of 4. It's still a 13-point lead, though, for UNLV, as we remind you. The announcers for this game have been contracted for and approved, surprisingly, by the Big West Conference. Any use, rebroadcast, or other transmission of this game without the written consent of the Big West Conference, Creative Sports, and Mario Palladini, Sports Channel America as well, is prohibited.
I'm glad you're reading that.
Boney making Manuel on the far side. Reggie Manuel has 13. And we mentioned he's only got a 9-point average.
Reggie Manuel has really taken his game up. Early in the year, he was a little out of shape, came back from being back home, back in Georgia, put on a couple of pounds. Hey, he's worked really hard to get himself back into shape, and his offensive game is really...
The miss outside by the southpaw. And now Ryder is fouled. Nope, they say he walked before. Thompson went after the ball. It looked like it could have been a reach in. Instead, it is a travel on J.R. Ryder. A turnover on UNLV, but they're still up by 16 as they give the ball back.
J.R. disbelieving there, but that is an area of the game he's improved upon. That was one of the question marks NBA scouts had about Ryder. His ability to handle the ball on the open floor, and he's worked very hard at being able to improve there.
Corey Rogers. Dedon Thomas, or make it the other Thomas, couldn't get it. And it's a charge. Wipe off the basket by Thompson. The charge accepted by Reggie Manuel. He's doing it at both ends of the floor. And the other Thomas, who just came into the game, Lawrence Thomas. Not Dedon, but Lawrence for UNLV. He's a freshman from Elizabeth, New Jersey. So a much smaller lineup now for the Runnin' Rebels, despite the fact that they did bring in Haygood, who is at 6'8" for the first time this evening.
Of course, every lineup for UNLV is a small lineup this year. It's amazing what they've been able to do this year. As you see the foul situation, UNLV starting to look for the bonus opportunity there inside. But they are very thin, as we talked about. UNLV is on that front line. And again, that's a very big key to being able to beat them, is get into their bench, get Gray or Ryder into foul trouble. The teams that have beaten UNLV this year have beaten them because of foul trouble on their key frontline people.
Ryder doing it all. It'll count if it goes, and it does.
Well, Roley likes to see that. I mean, when you create isolation opportunities like this offense does, would allow Ryder to go one-on-one, splits 3 players, keeps his body under control, goes up, nice soft touch. I mean, he beats you in so many ways, Joel. Beats you off the dribble, beats you down low, posted up, beats you up top with the dribble penetration, and beats you with the 3.
J.R. Ryder fouled by Tracy Ware. And a timeout, no. A substitution for the Runnin' Rebels. Dedon Thomas back in for Lawrence Thomas.
It's one of the keys of having Lawrence Thomas to be able to come in and spell Dedon, because you don't lose anything with Lawrence Thomas.
Well, you had mentioned that you had never seen New Mexico State so loose during a shoot-around. Maybe they ought to tense up during those shoot-arounds a little bit more. The ball taken away on the errant pass inside. They forced it, trying to get to the paint. Ryder again on his way. He lost it. Thompson has it. Here come the Aggies. They've got the numbers. Can they finish it? Yes. It's Tracy Ware, their leading scorer, who comes off the bench, averaging 13 a game.
And that's what he does the best. He finishes off transition breaks exceptionally well. New Mexico State now back in the matchup zone. It's a 1-1-3. UNLV will look for Ryder in this case with dribble penetration if they can, or the perimeter shot.
It's a foul as Manuel went for another three-pointer. That foul is called on Darren Jackson, so 3 free throws coming up. And I know Mario wants to take a look at the technique used by Reggie Manuel as he goes to the line, the sophomore from Macon, Georgia. He was a member of the Big West all-freshman team last season, but 3 free throws on that foul in three-point territory.
That's one of the problems you have when you're trying to defend on the perimeter. And really, those are silly fouls. You can't let a guy go out there and pick up a silly foul with a 3. I mean, if he makes that, he goes to the line with a chance for 4. And that's the kind of turnaround in the game you can ill afford. You mentioned Reggie Manuel. There's the game he had at Louisville. He's really played well recently overall, Joel. And, you know, he was Tarkanian's last recruit. He was the only freshman on this basketball team, and many people thought maybe he might head elsewhere when Massimino came here, but as Roley has done, he got his team together, he got focused, he won them over early, and they produced for him ever since. Done a great job.
I don't know about you, but I like the NBA style. You're fouled and trying a 3, you get 2 free throws. I'm not in love with this college idea of giving a player 3 free throws on a foul and three-point land. A 20-point lead is we'll be right back to Las Vegas.
The buffet at the Gold Coast. The best foods for the best price anywhere. Take our words for it. Head for the Gold Coast Buffet. The last word in reasonably priced dining.
Why people choose Lewis Homes.
Lewis Homes are very easy to furnish.
We were very impressed with the many extras included in our Lewis home.
I love our neighborhood.
I trust Lewis. They've been here for over 25 years.
See the home that thousands of home builders came to the National Convention to see. Free tours from February 27th through March 7th only in Summerlin. Special brochure in the Friday, February 26th newspaper.
Dear Lexus, my LS400 is great, but I have a suggestion to make.
How about a passenger side airbag?
Dear Lexus, I wouldn't have bothered you with this except that you asked.
An outside temperature gauge would be especially helpful.
It took 1,400 engineers to create it. And just a few doctors, artists, lawyers, CEOs, and entrepreneurs to help refine it. Introducing the 1993 LS400. See over 50 refinements at Fletcher Jones Lexus today.
Center. And to purchase tickets, you may want to call the Long Beach Arena box office as soon as possible. 213-436-3636. That's 213-436-3636. And welcome back once again to the Thomas & Mack Center. Joel Myers along with Mario Palladini. What a night it's been already. Tying a career high is Reggie Manuel. He's the former 2-time high school player of the year in the state of Georgia. Good news for Run and Rep fans. He's only a sophomore. Gaining confidence with each game for Roley Massimino with those additional minutes.
Tonight, Joel, he's looking for the outside shot. That's a little bit of a different look. Traditionally, so far this season's been going inside. Now he's looking for the perimeter shot, doing a great job. He's got 3 3-pointers already.
Sam Crawford not close. J.R. Ryder had it.
Uh-oh.
Tough man on man. Everett Gray lost it. Crawford's got it. And a reach in. J.R. Ryder with the foul. That'll be his second. And the 7th team foul. Bonus time now for New Mexico State. But a team who has not shot all that well from the field or the free throw line.
And New Mexico State is a team that's been shooting well, except on the road. In fact, last weekend, they only shot 38% on the road. They really struggled, and even Sam Crawford here missing free throws. They just have been out of sync from the start of this basketball game, and you've got to credit UNLV's defense. They've done a great job, as well as the fact New Mexico State has missed some easy inside shots, particularly trailer early on.
6.5 minutes left of the first half. A 20-point lead for UNLV.
Nice.
On the baseline, that was Reed.
It was great execution against the zone. They showed patience. They had good ball reversal that time. It looked short corner to Reed.
First 2 points for Cliff Reed, and the big ones on the baseline we had documented at the top of the telecast have to be involved offensively for New Mexico State to be successful. Everett Ray for three. And Reed after the basket, pulling it down at the other end. Crawford with penetration. He's bodied out by De'Don Thomas, his counterpart. And again, back to the free throw line for Sam Crawford, who's hit 76% coming into the contest, the MVP of last year's Big West tourney.
Here's little Sam running down the floor, and UNLV trying to get back defensively, but out of position that time, not getting back and square it up quick enough to draw the charge from Sam Crawford, who gives just so many different looks when he's dribbling at the open court.
It is rare when UNLV is not back and in position in the transition game, because they live and die with the transition game, especially this year. Mario, it's going to be awfully difficult for UNLV, though. Let's get past the Big West tourney once the NCAA starts. The matchups for Rolly Massimino and the Running Rebs.
Well, I mean, it's always dependent upon who you're drawing the matchups to, and that first round game is tough. But I mean, look at what they did to Georgetown. Now, granted, it's a very young Georgetown team, but UNLV has seemed to have had a lot of success even against bigger teams inside. They did a great job against Marquette, who's a very big team, a top 25 team. Did a destroyer inside and did an outstanding job against Georgetown. So they seem to actually do very well against the big teams. They have seemingly struggled at times against athletic teams. Long Beach State, an example of that.
And Louisville winning here last weekend by 4, stopping that 59-game winning streak. UNLV on their home floor. Looking low. See where, can't finish. Dockery coming over the back of Manuel, picks up the foul. That's a tough break. Both are going up, and both have pretty solid position.
That's a tough call, but again, that's the aggressiveness of New Mexico State. They're going to go strong to the glass every time, looking for every offensive opportunity they can. And Manuel just had the inside position. He was able to get that foul.
UNLV not in foul trouble yet, but don't forget down the road, Thomas, Gray, and Ryder all have 2 apiece for the Running Rebels.
New Mexico State back in a man-to-man now, trying to change things up themselves.
Kicked out of bounds by Thompson. It'll be a reset on the 45-second shot clock, yes. With 4:58 left in the first half. 4 straight points now by New Mexico State. That constitutes a run for the Aggies, because they really have had their problems offensively in the first half.
You know, last year in the game here, Joel, UNLV built a big early lead, and then New Mexico State clawed back, and they got it back to within 2 at halftime. I wanted to see another UNLV run early in the second half and break the game open. So New Mexico State's got to really be able to get some inside scoring in a hurry here, and hopefully get some UNLV people in the foul trouble.
In and out on Manuel's 3 shot. It's going to be goaltending on Ware. A basket for Boney. And an 18-point lead again for UNLV.
Key thing on this, look at the offensive rebounding by UNLV. Nobody blocked Boney off. He's wide open inside and gets the goaltending call from Ware, who finally was able to cheat over.
Under 4.5 minutes left in the first half. Crawford, good look for Dockery.
Nice. Executed well against the 1-3-1 half-court trap zone that time by UNLV.
Gibson leaving it for Manuel. Great pass. He couldn't capitalize. And now Crawford leading the 4-on-3. Ryder is going to be called for the foul. It'll be the 3rd. And unfortunately, a collision between Sam Crawford and one of the cheerleaders courtside. That is the 3rd foul, though, on Ryder.
Boy, tough play by Sam. Goes 1 against 2 there. Splits it up. Tries to go to the left hand, but in doing so, gets the reach-in foul by Ryder, who doesn't want to bite. Luckily, both players and the cheerleader did not get hurt on that play.
Bottom line is Sam bailed out, though, because he could have been out of control and almost under the basket.
Yeah, and look at this. 3 personal fouls now on Ryder. That's a big, big heat. That's exactly what New Mexico State wanted to do. We talked about it, trying to get one of the front line players in trouble, particularly Ryder, if you can. But look at this. This is the tie comparison. Rowley and Neil McCarthy playing the tie game back and forth.
Dollar bills on that time. $100 bills. Well, if you're a coach in Vegas, it makes sense, doesn't it?
It sure does. And he fits the image. You got to love Rolly Massimino. His charisma, he's just done a terrific job here at winning over the team and winning over the community.
Gibson leads it off.
What a play by
for Emmanuel. And Haygood's foul coming down with another try for UNLV.
You know, last year Tarkanian was telling me you got to keep an eye on Reggie Manuel. This kid can play. He can shoot it from the outside. He's so very talented. He doesn't even realize how much talent he has. And Massimino's been able to pick up on that. He's been able now to see the development starting up with Reggie Manuel outside and now with the creative moves on the inside. This is a very talented young basketball player.
Fred Haygood, who joined this team not too long ago, a junior from Rialto, California, transferred from Riverside Community College. Gets the run into the bonus, turning the second, and it's a 15-point lead for UNLV.
I'll tell you, a big bonus for Haygood to join his club because Danny Griffin, who was the only other big man UNLV had, the 6'9" player, transferred out and went to Rhode Island at the beginning of the season. So Haygood really has provided the only size off the bench that UNLV has.
Ball thrown away. A mistake by Crawford. Deon Thomas back in time, and Manuel looked like he turned his ankle trying to get back to help out.
Both players, Manuel and Thomas, both went down hard defensively. Reed's got to see if he can walk this off.
We'll be right back as the running Rebs will have the ball, and they still cling to that 15-point lead when we return.
This week, if your present car is worth $2,500 of these, we'll give you the cash, or we'll let you buy one of these, the 1993 Infiniti G20 at Tobin Infiniti for only $249 a month. Infinity's world-class quality and luxury have made it the best overall car line in the entire world. So take a test drive now and see what the excitement is all about for only $249 a month. But hurry, because this incredible buy is good this week only at Tobin Infiniti on West Sahara.
When it comes to tough tire warranties, Big O is a tough act to follow. And that's good to know when your tires have to perform. The Big O warranty gives you free 5,000-mile rotations and free computer balancing. And if the road gets too wild, we'll tame it with free repairs. So no matter what the road serves up, the show will roll on.
A reputation you can ride on Big O tires.
In an era of uncertain values, this car stands above all others. It's the most trouble-free car built in America today. It beat the imports, and it was named a Best Buy by Consumers Digest. Not just a good buy, the best buy. And now it comes loaded with a V6 engine, air, AM/FM cassette, and more. All at a new lower price, just $13,995. The car, the special edition Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra. Demand better and get it at Courtesy Oldsmobile or Finlay Oldsmobile, your Las Vegas Olds Connection dealers.
Assist leaders in the country on the floor this evening. Sam Crawford, number 1, just about 9 a game, a little over 8 a game for Deon Thomas of UNLV. But it has been a struggle so far for Sam Crawford and the Aggies of New Mexico State. Deon Thomas on the floor right now with 5. Crawford has 4. And Reggie Manuel went down with that turned ankle. He's on the bench. As you saw, he was being attended to by the training staff for UNLV. He was walking around during the timeout. Should be able to return as Lawrence Thomas came back into the game.
You know, Joel, Sam Crawford's also showing a limp out there. He went down hard in the previous out-of-bounds play, where Eric Traylor just cannot get him to go down inside.
And Tracy Ware leaning in as opposed to falling away does draw the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot 2, but Traylor really having those problems you were talking about, falling away maybe a little bit more than he had to.
Yeah, that's his style. He likes to fall away, but he's just, you can see he's out of sync right now. Likes to turn over the opposite shoulders he did. Felt the defensive pressure wasn't squared up. It was not a good shot. And look at Tracy Ware, though, on the offensive glass. Yeah, you look at the body on Tracy Ware. And, I mean, look at the guns on that guy's arms. He was not recruited out of high school for basketball. He was as a swimmer. He was a great swimmer in high school and really was discovered during the summer in the Houston Summer Leagues down in Texas.
He didn't even play high school basketball. Yeah. He excelled as a member of the swimming team, growing up down to the Houston area. So Tracy Ware with the free throw, and now it's down to 13, and New Mexico State starting after trailing by as many as 20. As soon as I say that, Lawrence Thomas with his first two.
Really nice poised jumper that time by Lawrence Thomas, the freshman out of New Jersey. Doing a good job off the great pass by Didon.
Ware with a good position inside. With a foul on UNLV. It's going to be on Gibson, I believe. No, Lawrence Thomas instead. So now it's going to be 2 free throws because they are over 10 in the bonus situation. 10-team fouls.
You know, Joel, we talked about New Mexico State wanting to go to the free throw line, and that's a key part of their game, being able to go inside. In fact, they have made more free throws than their opponents have attempted. I mean, that's how often they go to the free throw line. They go over 26 attempts a game to the free throw line. It's amazing, the inside attack.
Sounds like the Karl Malone story of the Utah Jazz. Tracy Ware hits both free throws. And it's back to 13. 7 so far for Ware, the leading scorer. For New Mexico State coming in.
Well, they're crawling back into this game with 2:45 to go. They're down 13.
Not many minutes in the first half for J.R. Ryder, missing the first 4 to 5 as he did not get the start. And now he's on the bench for the last 5 to 6 because of foul difficulty.
And that's a real key point. That's a good point, Joel, because now New Mexico State needs to make a run here if they possibly can.
Darren Jackson, and they call him DJ, picking up the foul, the sophomore from Dothan, Alabama. Transfer from Antelope Valley Junior College, sending Boney to the free throw line to shoot the 1-and-1. So far, UNLV still not quite 86% like they were over the first 5 minutes of the game, but just about 62% from the field. Wow. Only 35% though for New Mexico State.
And as you said, it's surprising that New Mexico State's only down by 13 at this point with that kind of a shooting percentage disparity. Bad shot that time by Dockery. Ill-advised.
Lawrence Thomas on the run. Haygood, the trailer. And UNLV again up by 15 after the mistake at the opposite end on a low percentage shot as far as the Aggies are concerned. Thompson's got it this time, though.
That's the kind of play you want to run. If the break is there, you take it. But you don't force shots when you're trying to work your way back into the basketball game, particularly with Dockery forcing it with 2 guys on him.
Gibson, difficult one. Rejected after he lost it on his way up, but a break for the Rebels. Gibson for 3. Haygood keeps it alive. Gibson gets into the middle of it at a jump ball situation.
Hey, the fans love number 20, Gibson. This guy is blue collar all over. Plays hard every game. Shoots the 3, and you know, Sam Crawford's been limping since that out-of-bounds collision. He hasn't been the same overall, and he's kind of looking over at Neil McCarthy.